Thank you, Sandra.
All right, let's bring in Jonathan Turley on that. Constitutional law attorney and professor. He's also a Fox News contributor. If we could pop that back up. This was found on her door, as we now know, April 14th. That was 4 days, Jonathan, before she had allegedly helped this illegal immigrant evade ICE agents. If any attorney, witness coordinator, or other court official knows or believes that a person feels unsafe coming to this courthouse to courtroom 615, please notify the branch clerk to request court appearance via Zoom. What does that tell you, this revelation?
Well, first of all, the judges probably can set Zoom hearings. It's in their discretion. I doubt that that alone would bring further legal action. But what Judge Dugan did here is far more direct and arguably criminal. You know, she got down from the bench and became part of what the law enforcement officials are saying is a pattern of illegality. I mean, she helped this person evade arrest. And we've seen this before. In Boston in 2019, I wrote about a judge who actively helped secrete a fugitive so that he would not be arrested. She was ultimately charged, but under the Biden administration, they just dropped those charges. And many of us were very critical of that because we thought the intent was clear. And so what people have to distinguish here is between the role of the judge and what she did. She was not acting as a judge at that point. She was acting as an individual who was helping the evasion of law enforcement. And what I find perplexing is I understand waiting for the facts to come out. We just got more facts about witnesses who said that this was intentional and the actions that the judge did. But what's concerning are all these Democratic leaders saying that she is this martyr. Well, if it's true that she actively secreted an individual, actively evaded law enforcement, how is that part of the judicial function? Many of us have said that we need mutual respect between the judicial and executive branches, but it goes both ways. She has to earn that respect by reinforcing her role as a judge, not as a participant in alleged illegality.
That is obviously a critical point, Jonathan. And one of those voices has been the Milwaukee mayor. He spoke live during this program last Friday. He also was on Sunday over the weekend. Which was this from? Maybe this is from Friday. But the Milwaukee mayor. Okay, this is Friday. The Milwaukee mayor insisting that this is all, Jonathan, just showboating on the part of this administration.
Typically, when something like this happens, an indictment of a potential defendant is ordered. There'll be a court appearance. That didn't happen in this case. I think what happened here was just showboating. They're just trying to have this show of force, and in the process of doing this in a courthouse where people need to go for court proceedings, they're scaring people away from participating in the process.
Meanwhile, as I mentioned, that was happening live during this program on Friday. He was asked, pretty simple questions about this case, and he didn't have a lot of information. So why do they feel so compelled to come to the defense of this judge?
Yeah, that's the odd thing here, is that we previously had a judge do precisely what was alleged here, and nothing came of it. The judge was reprimanded, but certainly did not get prosecuted for that action. Yes, arrests often do send messages. That's not denied by prosecutors. You're hoping that arrest of one person will deter 100 others so that you don't have those cases. This was clearly a shot across the bow because the administration saw a judge who was openly evading federal authority, becoming an active player in these alleged illegal actions. And they decided to draw a line right here because she stepped over the line of between being a judge and being an alleged participant in a criminal act.
Finally, I want to get the words of President Trump on the Wisconsin judge arrest. This was during an Air Force One gaggle yesterday. President Trump, listen.
I think the whole thing is horrible with judges, with what's going on, and they shouldn't be doing that. That's very dangerous territory. And we have to be able to do what I ran on. I ran on a campaign of taking criminals out of our country. We have to be allowed to do it. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country any longer.
And the polls show, as Mark Meredith was noting earlier at the White House, that he's got a lot of support for what he's doing. Although I want to put this Fox News poll up on the screen. While he's getting a lot of support for his action at the border and deporting these illegal migrants, this is a Fox News poll that asked about the federal district judges challenging President Trump on certain policies, on whether those judges are legitimately exercising power. About 58% of them said so, Jonathan. Those who said that they are unlawfully interfering was a third, about 33%. So what does that tell you?
Well, I think that the White House should heed these polls. You know, on cases like Garcia, many of us argued that they should have brought him back. In my view, he would have been promptly and correctly deported back to El Salvador. I don't see how he could stay in this country. But it's very important for us to reinforce these lines. You have to comply with court orders. You can appeal them. In the same way, judges like Dugan are allowed to use their courtrooms to deal with matters before them. They can issue orders. They can bring in people to give testimony. What they can't do is get down from the bench and become part of the alleged crime. And so these are important lines for both sides to mind. And with that, we can develop that mutual respect that we need between our branches.
Jonathan, always good to get you on. Thank you very much. The whole country is watching this closely, obviously. Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.